35192. Want to send me a text? You can. AlanCoxShow.com if you want to watch there, and also this week's Alan Cox Show Instagram hotties are there for your perusal. If you find, I'll tell you what.
Did you look through them yet?
But I have not. As much as some people may lament spending so much time alone, I would think that the Alan Cox Show Instagram hotties, the perfect companion for when you're alone. In fact, I would think that you'd absolutely want to be alone if you're going to be perusing the Alan Cox Show Instagram hotties. Just between you and me.
Or it could be a family thing.
Yeah. Hey, MMS 19 News and the Cleveland Cavaliers are doing something on Saturday night called All for the Land. It's a COVID-19 relief program on Saturday night. So there's going to be some MMS people. There's going to be some people from the Cavs and 19 News. They're going to be raising funds to directly help people across Northeast Ohio. Okay? It's going to be Saturday night from 8 to 10, live on Channel 19 and also live here on WMMS. If you want to go to cleveland19.com, we'll have a website up here shortly, but cleveland19.com has got all the details on it. So it's going to be 19, the Cavs, MMS, TAM. A bunch of us are taking part in this. So it's it should be, a little bit of fun, and it should also be very, very helpful.
All for a good cause.
All for a good cause. So Saturday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Channel 19. It will also air on here on WMMS and on WTAM 1100.
Did you watch any of that I Heart Concert for America last night?
Yeah, I watched a little. I was curious to see what people's living rooms look like. That was basically all I was. I think that's probably why most people watched it. You know, if they were like, hey, all these people are getting together to do a show on a stage in an arena, you'd go, oh, okay. But if you're like, all these people are in their living rooms, you go, oh.
Well, some of them had like a studio room.
Yeah,
or
like
like
in their own house.
Yeah, Mariah Carey had her home studio.
I didn't see Mariah Carey's. I saw Billie Eilish. I saw guy from Foo Fighters. What's his name?
Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl, sorry.
I call him Guy from Foo Fighters.
but you know
easier.
who I'm talking about. I just forgot. His name slipped my mind.
Yeah, I understand.
And then Lizzo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters!
Okay, I'm here in my home studio, and I just wanted to say hi to everybody out there that's staying home, and
I know you want to sound good, and I certainly am not complaining about that. I'm just thinking for something like this, wouldn't it be cooler if you did do it from your living room?
Yeah. That's a point.
Celebrities now, man, they're really walking this line during this coronavirus thing where a lot of them, because they're going to be just fine, they're sequestered in their mansions or whatever. I feel like that's a time where you'd kind of want to, and maybe that's not even in Mariah Carey's DNA to do it that way, but I think you might kind of want to scale it down a little bit and be like, I'm in my living room. You know, here I am.
But the Mariah brand is being like a diva. So
and over the top.
She wants to give them that.
Yeah, but for something like this, man, you kind of set that aside. Nobody cares. That's like your brand when times are good. Nobody cares about that.
Yeah, you want to see them sitting on their couch,
Yeah,
just doing what they do.
I think
like,
so.
Alicia Keys, I think, was just at like a piano in her house. She probably has, a few pianos in her house, and she just did it pretty bare bones. And I really enjoyed hers, and I enjoyed Dave Grohl's, and I enjoyed what's his face, Billy Joe Armstrong.
Billy Joe Armstrong.
Billy Joe Armstrong was like the best. I think I loved his.
Hey everybody, this is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. I hope everyone is staying healthy. If you love someone, let them know. If you're thankful for someone, tell them. I'd like to dedicate this song to all the people out there who are on the front lines that are doing their best to get us through all of this. This song is called My Hero.
It's also got to be weird, too, when you have written a song that means something very specific to you as the artist. And then you have to repurpose it for something else. You know, because you're kind of thinking, okay, well, this is for obviously, there's a pretty linear line with a song called My Hero, that you could do that for anything. Mm-hmm. But if you're Mariah Carey, you're like, I'm going to do Always Be My Baby.
She could do Hero, too.
She could. She didn't, though.
She should have.
okay, I'm here in my home studio. Time and it seemed everlasting that you would always be mine. Now you wanna be free, so I let you fly.
You know, for all
Sounds
the
awesome.
for all the crap she gets for like lip syncing at New Year's Eve or whatever, a chick can still sing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she lip synced at that. I think it was like
Backing track.
yeah, and that's gonna throw any artist off if you all of a sudden are used to dancing to music and then the track cuts off. Like, where do you go from there? That was more than just a lip syncing thing.
I thought they were giving her a hard time for lip syncing, which
No.
I don't ever really give anybody a hard time for lip
Especially
syncing.
when you're in a place like Times Square doing it in that setting.
And it's cold.
It's cold.
And especially if
it's
you're
annoying.
if you're an established artist who's been around for a long time, like guys, we know she can sing.
Right.
All right,
Yeah,
if
but-
she lip syncs to a track or
I
something.
wish they would have let Britney Spears do a song.
Even on her worst day, Mariah Carey can still outsing most of the artists here now. They're used to like those butterfly notes where it was just like pretty much like a whistle, the whistle notes.
Whistle notes.
But like
The whistles go woo.
All those whistle notes.
I sympathize
boy.
with her because people gave the same crap to Whitney Houston, although hers was done with crack. But still,
Yeah.
The whistles go woo!
It was interesting, and I like that it was commercial free and it moved pretty quick. Like it was over before I
And
knew
they
it.
had, they had some regular people in
Yeah.
there, and they had a nurse from Troy, Michigan, the ICU nurse named Melissa Steiner was part of this.
For the past 13 hours, honestly, guys, it felt like I was working in a war zone.
I mean, again, this is a video that they pulled from her,
her
you know, they
Snapchat.
didn't- yeah, her Snapchat.
Completely isolated from my team members, limited resources, limited supplies, limited responses from physicians because they're just as overwhelmed as we are dealing with a ton of other stuff.
Why are they doing all that brand plugging?
Doing what?
They plug in the limited.
Well, listen, I think right now, women's capri pants are 50% off, Bill. You're not going to get a deal like that any other time. Limited and Express?
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
come on.
I'm still getting emails
Online
from
only.
Express. Express is like, if you shop now, we'll give 2 for 1. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh,
There's
hell's
so
yeah.
many things like that.
You're buying
you
stuff.
doing
You're
right
buying
now?
stuff from places you'd never buy from before.
Free
My-
shipping.
Yeah.
Well, as long as the COVID-19's out there wreaking havoc, you get free shipping.
You'll save $4.
My wife's
Kohl's
like,
cash
yeah,
coming at
my
you.
wife's like, do you need anything from Old Navy? I'm like, I never have before. I don't know. You know, I've lived 48 years not needing anything from Old Navy.
Do social distancing in style.
Right.
Old Navy.
Well, that's the thing
If you
too.
wear clothes from Old Navy, people will stay away from you. We guarantee it.
But that's the thing too, is that a lot of people are like, well, they might just be doing like shopping online because they're bored.
Yeah.
But people aren't necessarily like buying new clothes because you're not wearing them around anybody.
That was one of the tips, though.
Unless you want to look good on your Zoom meeting.
Well, how to feel better like during the day is to get ready for the day. Wake up, take a shower, put on clothes. Because I'm like, I've had on the same sweatpants for 2 straight weeks. Like it's, you know, you'll feel better to actually put your real clothes on.
Yeah, it's easier said than done because a lot of people's routines have changed immeasurably. But they say they're like, keeping your previous routine
As much
can
as you
really
can,
help
yeah.
with whatever.
I can't express enough how much this puppy has helped me during this because it forces me to go outside every couple of hours.
Yeah.
Like I can't just sit on my couch and binge stuff because I have to deal with a life. So every few hours I got to take the puppy out and then I get a little exercise while I do it. And you feel a little bit better. And then also, you know, the puppy's never satisfied with as far as attention goes. So she always is ready to play and have a good time. And I like that. And it's helped a lot.
Why don't you start walking your cat?
She did. Please, come on. She sleeps all day, and I
So
don't know
wake
if it's
that
'cause I've
dumb bitch up
I
and
don't know
put
if
a
it's-
leash on her and walk her.
I'm never home, so I don't notice. But
Say,
I'm like,
hey, you're here because I feed you and house you.
Yes.
So now it's time to pay mama back.
But
Well,
how happy
let's-
are you that you're doing this all now in your new apartment rather than doing this all
oh,
in the
that's.
basement?
I mean, just having. It sounds so stupid. Just having extra space to be bored in, like to not feel like I'm in this enclosed little tiny. Like we did a walkthrough over the weekend. My landlord and I was like, man, I did not realize how small of a space I was in until I got into a bigger one. So just having like room to exercise at home. I have room to do that now. I didn't have room to do that before, you know.
Telling you, put me in the unpopular opinion column. I know you're not going to want to hear it.
Here we
You
go.
are going to regret leaving that underground bunker.
I don't think so, Alan.
I know you don't. You
I
also
can't-
don't think you're going to have kids. But you are, Blanche. You are.
I couldn't do it. Like, if I wouldn't have been able to do anything there. There was literally no room for me to walk around. Like,
Yeah. You couldn't have paced properly.
No, well, or even do a sit-up or anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Your apartment didn't have enough room to do a sit-up.
If I moved my table my coffee table into the very corner of the room, I would have probably had maybe a 2 foot by 2 foot square that I could have moved on.
Well, then it's good that you're
It
in
was
the new
very
place.
small.
I'm
yeah.
sure there's a trainer out there who's like 2 foot by 2 foot. That's all you need.
That's it.
It's
You
all you
see
need.
that kettlebell? You'll be fine.
Got a lot
That's
of
right.
workout in there. A little body weight exercise. You'll be just fine.
I did a diamond raw way. I'll be all right. I learned how to live with it. Alan, that iHeart concert was like coronavirus cribs. Yeah, it was.
I didn't realize how hip Elton John was. He's like, "Hey, Lizzo, I love you." I'm
Hey,
like,
you didn't even know who he was.
I knew who Elton John was.
You didn't
I
know
said
I was playing his music for you. You thought it was ABBA.
I know who Elton John is. I was not a fan of his music.
He has been very famously generous toward up and coming artists.
Oh, great.
He's been Billie Eilish, before people were talking about her, he was like, "You're awesome." He's into Lizzo.
Yeah, he said that. He said,
Yeah, he's no dummy. He knows what's up.
Yeah, that's great.
I did a virtual show Saturday.
Yeah, a couple of people wanted me to ask you about it.
It was awesome. It was really cool.
I thought you were going to say it was awful.
No,
That was great.
It's really
I missed
cool.
your set, but we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, it's so you do it via Zoom, which is a conferencing app, and then on the back end, I don't understand any of this, but they have people who live stream it through YouTube and Twitch. So I'm just standing in my apartment with my phone.
The
and
Zoom people do.
The people who run the show. So this is a guy
I
named
see.
Steve Hofstetter, Chris Bowers, and Ben Glebe, who actually does Idiot Test.
Yeah, I know those guys.
Those three are the ones who are running it. And they asked me to do it a couple weeks ago, and I was moving and yada, yada. And then the special guest on it was Greg Proops, which I didn't know.
Nice.
I know. It was super cool. And I grew up watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? So I took a screenshot of like me and him on the same page.
Yeah.
The video conferencing. But after my set was done, Greg came on and he was like, "Mary, I just wanted to tell you, your joke about Pablo Picasso is absolutely brilliant." And he like applauded for me. And I was like, that felt amazing to get someone that I've watched and has
Sure.
like been in comedy for years to say something like that.
He's an erudite guy.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really cool. And so like little things like that still exist are awesome and feel good. And the other comics that were on the show were talking about how he's like influenced them and how he's helped, like you were saying, Elton John has been nice to up and comers, that he's been really generous with his time and advice, and I don't know monetarily, but like helping people and getting their name out there and stuff. So
Greg's a great guy.
yeah, I've never met him, or like that was my
He
first
came in
time
here-
interacting.
He came in here when I was like first on the show, and then I was doing a show down in Atlanta, and he like I hit him up on Twitter. I'm like, "You want to get coffee?" He's like, "Yeah." So we went and had coffee.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
just,
really
that
cool.
kind of guy.
He was smoking a blunt while everybody like just sitting there because it was like an hour and a half, and then we played like little games
Might
and
as
stuff
well.
like
Yeah.
that. And
So Mary's
yeah.
kind of burying the lead here, though, because during this, you can tip, and you can tip to a specific comic if you want. The one that she did last week was just all goes into one pot, and the comics all split it up. But this one was based on which comic you liked the most. And Mary set the record, basically doubled the record
Wow.
of what comics were getting tipped on the show. And they do it every single night. And they've had some heavy hitters on there, and Mary like blew the record out of the water.
And that's 100% because of the customers. Alan Cox Show listeners and Cleveland people tuned in, and you guys were there. Every comment that came in was like, "Love from Cleveland, hate the show," like all this kind of stuff. So thank you to everybody who tuned in. It was incredible, and you guys gave me what felt like a regular Saturday night, to perform it. And
Didn't
make a
carry
little
over
bit
to
of
our
money
Monday,
and-
but
didn't carry over to today. No,
It was very short-lived good
Yeah.
feeling
but
that you guys gave.
It really was. It was all of our customers just throwing in regular, the people
It
who
made
are
me
normally
very-
on Twitter, and
Mary made me very proud.
It
and
was.
It was like very cool to see that our listeners and customers are that supportive, and
They
that
were.
they made it a good Sunday night for Mary.
So thank you guys, and they're putting pictures out like, "Oh, you're on my TV. You're next to Greg Proops." It was really really cool. It was.
No, that's
super
good.
cool.
I'm happy that it worked out.
So thank you guys for everyone who did that. I'm doing a virtual open mic tonight. And I'll be on around 9:50ish, but it's just 10 people get 3 minutes to kind of just bounce new ideas off of each other. And I'm
And
looking-
what do you do? You post the link for that, and then people just follow it through? Or
Yes, normally.
Yeah.
So these virtual shows through Zoom, I'll post a link to my Instagram. Tonight it's just an Instagram live with my friend Ali Sultan, who lives in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
He's been doing these every Monday. And so it starts at 9:30. I'll be on around 9:50, just kind of spitballing some ideas I've had, which is, it's a good outlet to have. And this is what I'm complaining earlier in the show. I'm like, I still have an outlet. You know, a lot of people don't, who had their day job taken away, and now they're just home, alone, single, sitting there. So,
or with 4 kids under 8.
Or 4 kids under 8 trying to be a teacher and a daycare. You know what I mean?
Or they ruined a rug. A really nice
some
rug.
people ruin rugs, yes.
Let's not forget
Rug ruiner.
the most important thing. I messed up my own rug.
Yeah.
All right, you got that email that's going to bring us off this high horse?
Oh, yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Our hate mail?
No, it wasn't hate mail. Laura emailed me. She goes, I know that you're serious about social distancing, so you must be pretty mad that Bill and Mary are not social distancing. Were you guys hanging out over the weekend? She's a little vague in what she's talking about.
No.
Last
Saturday, I went to your apartment to do that show, but that was the last time I saw you outside of work.
Right, but we didn't...
I did have a couple people message me pretty angry about seeing my family yesterday. I had
By the
people
way,
on Instagram very upset with me.
Social distancing just means that you are 6 feet away. It does not mean that you don't ever go see. Someone can be in your eyesight and you can talk to them. Social distancing is 6 feet away. Because this girl's like, it means not hanging out with somebody you don't live with.
That's where everyone was getting on me.
It's 6 feet away. That's what social distancing is. So if you're going to crap on somebody for going to see their family, you are really bored. You are very, very bored. And maybe need to pick up a book or something else. It just means 6 feet away. That's why when you go to the store, they've taken the liberty of painting lines. So people aren't standing, because there's so many dummies who don't think what's going on is real or whatever, that they have to, they have to, they have to tell people, hey, stand back here.
I was at Home Depot getting paint, and I got the old, sir, could you please stand behind the red line? And I just hadn't seen it yet. And I was like, oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I give people...
Sorry.
But, yeah, I'm like, God,
we were out.
Idiots. I'm part of the problem.
We were out yesterday taking a walk, and I'm giving people a wide berth.
Yeah.
Even off the sidewalk, because it had rained a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were like giant puddles and whatever, anywhere.
The flooding. You saw the flooding.
I put it on my Instagram, the flooding of the river.
Cuyahoga River.
Oh, man, it was crazy. It
Like
came all the way
up over the road.
Over to the other side. And they closed off big portions of the road down in the metro parks. It was nuts. But, yeah, that's what people were coming at me like, you shouldn't be visiting family right now. This is a time to stay inside, blah, blah. I'm like, literally, I did not get within 10 feet of my dad yesterday. We didn't go I went in the house to pee. I washed my hands and everything, but it's like, what are we supposed to do?
First of all, you don't, whatever, if you're hitting Mary up or hitting, just ease off, okay? You do you, whatever. I get what you're trying to do. But also, if you don't know what social distancing literally is,
It's physical distancing.
Don't crap all over somebody else.
That's I saw an article. It's
when they say stay at home, yeah, they absolutely want people staying at home so they're not going into stores and whatever. Mm-hmm. That's what it is, not gathering in large groups, right?
Keep that physical distance between someone. Alan, every day the show starts, he mentions we're 6 feet apart. Mary and I, probably more than 6 feet apart.
I measure it.
Yeah.
Poundcake's in another room.
He's in another room.
We all leave one at a time, so we keep that distance.
Yeah.
Although, Bill, you do come into my studio right before showtime and set up everything.
Now, I think of you as a no one, so you don't count.
Other
no
people.
one.
I think of me as
You're
a no
not
one.
a people.
Hey, Pilot Ryan.
Hey, how's it going? Ate the show.
How are you, man? Are you grounded?
Not grounded, but picture the Langoliers. Airports are empty.
Oh my God! Yeah, I saw a photo of like one lady with a roller bag at Hopkins, and I was like, "Where is she going?" I mean, I know that they still have to transport probably medical professionals, and there are some people that still do need to fly, but yeah, it was empty.
Oh yeah, but I figured I'd call in, share a little bit of a positive anecdote, maybe cheer Mary up a little bit. So a couple of days ago, I was clocking out, at the airport after about 5 days of uncertainty. And as I mentioned, the airport was empty. And as I'm walking out, there was just a lonely airport worker, one of the ones who offers to shine your shoes, and he asked if I would like, a shoe shine. I politely declined and said, the ones that I'm wearing are ready for the garbage. But then in a span of about 5 steps, I thought to myself, he's probably going to be unemployed soon or, have so few customers that he might as well be. So I turned around, pulled out some cash, asked for the most expensive shine, and tipped 100%.
Oh, nice.
So that made his day.
I was going to say, I can't believe that the shoe shine guy was still there.
Oh, yeah, I was surprised, too.
Huh.
Are all the employees there, like of the food court and stuff like that, and like the little gift shops?
The little convenience stores, yeah, they're still there, but mostly all restaurants and all airports, that I've been around, they're all closed.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But you're still working?
Yeah, I'm still working.
Yeah.
For the time being. We'll
All right.
see how everything shakes out.
Yeah. All right, well, stay safe, Ryan.
Yeah, most likely. Y'all as well.
All right, thanks, Bell.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting our final approach to Cleveland Hopkins Airport. Aware that I'm the only person on this flight. Still so used to making the announcement that I continue doing it. So the flight attendants will be through with beverage service. They actually will not. There are no flight attendants here and no beverages. And yeah, okay.
Fortunately, in that crash, only one person was hurt because it was he was deadheading back to Cleveland, baby.
Although one thing I did think was cool while watching that I Heart charity concert.
Concert for America.
Hashtag Alone Together.
It was a
Poundcake.
very long title, so I didn't remember it. I apologize. But yeah, the Concert for America, it showed the cities all around the world that are completely empty, huge tourist attractions just empty, or one person there with a camera shooting, and
Sure.
that was it. But I was like, wow, this is gonna go down in history. And
Dude.
when's the last time you've seen Times Square or the Eiffel Tower
Any of it.
or the Big Ben? No people around it ever.
That was a weird, comforting thing today to feel this morning when I was like, this is not the first time, but in a lot of people's lives, the first time where everyone is going through the same thing. Everyone across the world. 9/11 is probably the closest that I have in my lifetime to when everybody was kind of, hey, let's band together, let's try to do all this. But I was 10 or 11 years old. I was in 6th grade when that happened.
And it was also felt most acutely in New York,
Right.
East Coast.
Whereas this is complete, worldwide, not just across the country or across the state. Everyone all over the world is doing this.
I'm ignorant. I thought China was back to normal. They're not quarantining anymore. I thought Europe was over with. I don't know. I don't know why. Because once they had Italy and they had the death rate go down, I thought for some reason I'm okay, well they're not quarantining anymore.
Well, no, you can't have the death rate go down and go, the death rate went down today.
Everybody
outside,
No,
get
but I
back
get what
to
he's-
work.
I get
Today
what
we
he's
only
saying.
had 400 people die.
I did enjoy the Celine Dion tribute on someone's balcony, and the entire alley was singing.
I'm a little
the Titanic song.
Jealous of that because there are balconies in some of the buildings near my place, and I want.
You should do a DJ set.
Well, I don't have a balcony, but it would be nice if those people would get off their butts, get out on those balconies,
lit.
and sing some songs so that I'm walking my dog by, we get a little entertainment.
There was a video of someone in Miami doing it from DJing from their balcony, and then they just see people from the apartments across the way just dancing on their roofs and on their balconies. It's now that is a party.
I like the guy who was doing it from his balcony in New York, and 2 seconds in, a guy is like, "Shut the F up! Shut up!
Knock it off!
The most New York
Trying
way.
to.
I don't know, A, what happened to Bobby V after that, but B, there hasn't been much attention paid to how the pimpin' game has probably been knocked off back on its heels, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to pimp either all over the world or if you are regionally pimping.
It was already hard out here for a pimp.
Yeah, it was hard to do that, and now it's there's no women, there's no caviar.
Since when do hoes follow the law?
What's that?
Since when do hoes follow the law?
Hoes are inside, too. If the pimp
They're
is
hoeing from
inside.
self-quarantined, then what are the hoes doing?
They're hoeing from inside. They're doing house calls.
But that's got nothing to do with it. He's pimping all over the world. He can't do that anymore. The fancy cars, they're in the garage. If he's smart. The women, the caviar, there's probably a run on caviar right now.
Send a thotogram.
That could be a thing, too.
It is a
Send
thing.
one. It's called OnlyFans.
Now, I just mean when you want to greet a friend, you send a hoe to his house, and then they tell you whatever they want you to know.
But you can't. You can't send anybody over.
Just pretend
Social distancing.
Pretend it's Chewy or something. You gotta
Chewy.
You drop off dog food on someone's step, and then you're like, oh, by the
Delivery
way,
person.
Pretend
We already
it's
have
chewy.
this with, and they have it with the food delivery service that the strip club's doing out in Oregon.
Yeah,
what was that?
Boober. Portland,
Boober,
you get the topless. I wonder if that's still going on. That seems like something that somebody had
It's
like
good for like a day,
a
yeah.
light bulb idea, and they go, "This will be funny."
Got
And then
shut
like
down immediately.
48 hours later, the girls are like, "I don't want to do this."
Just be so awkward. Like, it's already, like, when I have food delivered, they have to walk down this long hallway, and sometimes I'll see them walking, and they'll spot me, and then I just stand there.
You're the worst.
Why don't you just wait for them to get to your
that?
apartment?
I am.
No, like to come knock on your door. That would be
'Cause
way less awkward.
Sometimes it's funny.
Oh
Wait,
my
then
God.
you just stand there and
And
wait
just
for them to
watches
show up.
He has
them
a
walk.
long
Come here,
hallway.
servant.
Yeah.
It's like, really, man?
I tip well, so they can make the walk.
Oh my God.
You make them actually come inside?
No, I don't make them come inside, but they got to come down to my door.
Why do I picture like the wall and you just like peering out like one or
That's
two
literally what
eyes
I
at a
did
time?
last
And
night.
then,
See,
like,
I'm not that guy.
hiding?
I'm the guy
That's
that...
literally what I did last night because it was taking an extra long time for her to get from dialing my apartment to getting to my apartment. So I just opened the door and looked out, and I see her at the very end of the hallway. You guys all know where I live now, so you
have
that's
kind
a
of
long
It's a long
hallway.
hallway.
And you have kind of an overlook hotel vibe to your hallway
Yeah.
too.
And so I just stick my head out. I see her. I wave at her
my
to let her know
God.
this is the one you're coming to, and then I go back in and just wait for her to get there.
See, I'm a person that meets at the front door of the
I'm the
apartment.
same way.
Like, I don't want you to
I'll come
in
down and
anywhere,
wait.
even at my house. Like, I meet you at the driveway. You don't need to come up to my doorstep. I don't need all that.
Here's what you should do next time, Bill. Let me add a layer to this. Is you do that thing, you see them at the end of the hall, you wave so they know where you are, you shut the door, you wait for them to knock, but you take a really long time to get to the door.
That's so mean.
And
Don't
then you
do
go,
that.
and then you go, I'm so sorry I was in the shower. You have a towel around you. Like they
just
just
dry,
saw
but
you
you're
out the-
completely dry.
I was in the shower.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
have
so
a
sorry.
towel over my clothes.
Yeah. I was taking a dry shower. I'm so
I-
sorry.
I think it's funny. No, but I usually I used to go down and like meet them at the front, but now I
Front butt. You
Now
mean him
you
at the
don't.
front
meet
butt?
them at the front butt, but now I don't meet
Oh,
them at the
alright.
front butt.
Got
I
me
meet
in
at
the
the
front
back
butt.
butt.
Okay. Al and I delivered a pizza to a hotel. There was definitely an escort in the guy's room. Yeah, well, all right. It's not a perfect
get out
system.
there.
What do you want from me?
Told you.
All right, let me break. You want to get a text in 35192, AlanCoxShow.com for anything else?
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS and everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.